So watch this video completely and you will get complete understanding of the data modeling fundamentals, which will include a lot of concepts like star schema, snowflake schema, normalized tables, denormalized tables, data warehousing, and cardinality as well. So make sure that you be a little patient and watch this completely. So to get started, we have got this sales data. Now, if you have a look at this particular table, this has got a lot of columns and lot of rows are there. So for the simplification of explanation, I will filter the data for one particular customer. Let's say I filter the data for this first customer. Now, if you have a look at this table, tell me whether you will use this table directly for the data analytics. Your answer should be no. Why? Because there is a lot of data that is getting repeated. This is not the ideal table format. This is called as denormalized data, where the data is getting repeated. You want the data in the normalized format. What is normalized format? I'll show you. So now, for instance, you can see that for in this particular table, customer data is getting repeated. So what we should do, ideally we should be creating a separate table for the customers, and then we will join this sales table and the customers tables through the common key, through the primary key. Okay, so let us do that very quickly. It's very easy. So I have just copied this customer data and created a separate customer table. So as I told you, customer ID will act as a primary key in this customer table, and it will act as a foreign key in this particular sales table. Let us write this as sales table. Now if I want to fetch any data of this particular customer, I can simply make a join on the basis of this customer ID and fetch it. And now I do not want this repeating data at all, so I will simply right click and delete this table. So this repeating data was basically making your data model heavy, and it will ultimately affect the performance of your report. So similarly, I can create the product table as well for the product details. So let's say I am copying this data, and let's say I have created this product table. Let us call this as product. All right, so let's say similarly we have created this product table as well. Now again I will delete this unwanted data, because anyways this is getting repeated. So I will just right click and delete it. I will just keep the primary key, which is product ID, and delete this data. And as I said, for this table as well, this particular product key will act as a primary key, and here it will be the foreign key to join these two tables. So until now what we understood is this sales table is basically the fact tables. When I say fact table, the transactional table which has got all the transactional data, all the transactions are happening here. Whereas this product table or the customer table, we can call this as dimension table, because this has got description of the data. So essentially what I'm saying is, initially we had the sales table, which was basically the fact table, and then around this sales table we created lot of tables, and around these tables we created customer table, then we also created product table. Similarly, we can create other tables also. For example, here we can see that, for instance, in this table we can see that we have the store data also, so we can create a separate store table as well. So let's say I have created store table as well. Then later on we can create the date table as well. So basically what I'm saying is that all these dimension tables are surrounded around this sales table, which is a fact table. Now this makes a shape of a star. That is why we call this as a star schema. So in short, star schema is fact table surrounded by dimension tables. There can be 3, 4, 5 dimension table. That's not a problem. It is not compulsory that it should have only 4 tables. It can have more or less. That's fine. But all these tables should be directly connected with the fact table, just like I showed here. Okay, through this primary key. Now this is basically the star schema. Initial table that we had seen, this table is basically the denormalized table. Then we created these normalized tables. Why do we create normalized tables? Let's say if there is a change in the customer data. Now for example, let's say the customer city changes for this particular customer. You just need to make the changes in the customer table, and all these changes will reflect here. automatically. You do not have to make it. Now imagine if we don't have this normalized data structure, what will happen? You will have to make changes into the entire sales table. Does that make sense? Right? Moving on to the next point, that is basically snowflake schema. What is snowflake schema? So let's say we have got this customer table. For whatever reason, let's say we want the separate data for the customer location, let's say for example, then what do we do? What we can, there is one thing that we can do, and that is we can create a separate table for customer location. So I will just create separate table, and let us name this particular table as location table. All right, now let's say we have created this location table, but we need something to join between these two tables also. So let's say we created a location id. Okay, let's call this as 1, and then same location id we need to add here as well. So I will simply add location id here as well. Okay, let us call this as 1. So now if you have a look at this updated data model, this has got location table, and this customer table and location tables are connected through this location id column. But this location id is not present here. What that means is sales table is connected to customer table, and customer table is connected to this location tables. That means location table is not directly connected to the customer table, which simply means that here this sales table is connected to customer, but we are creating a new table, that is location. So essentially what's happening here is this particular location table is connected to customer, and customer is connected to sales, but location table is not directly connected to the fact table. This is snowflake schema. Basically we are extending the hierarchy further to the next level. So let us have a quick recap of what we have understood until now. I'll show that through the PPT. So basically initially we had this one big table. Okay, so as we had seen, there was a lot of data which was getting repeated, like customer details, location details. The problem was it needed more storage. It will make your report slow. That was the problem. That's why we decided to make this data normalized, and we created a separate table so that the data can be reused. And then we discussed about the normalized and denormalized table. As I said, initial table was denormalized, and then we created like this normalized tables. We have discussed this in detail already. Then we talked about the fact and dim table. As I said, this is a fact table surrounded by these dimension tables. And as I said, fact is nothing but the transactional data. It will have numbers. And as I said, dimension data is nothing but the description. Okay. And then we talked about the snowflake schema. It will just expand further to the next level. So basically dim table will get further extended. Basically dim table we have the next level of hierarchy, that is called as snowflake schema. Okay, again that will, as I said, it will create more relationships and it will make your data model complex. Anyway, ideal thing is that when in the reporting, it is ideal that you have the star schema. It is always recommended. Snowflake schema you should do only when your dim table is so big that you have no other choice but to create another table, and that way you can have the snowflake schema. Or you have a very strong business reason. Only for these two scenarios you should go for snowflake schema. Otherwise it is always recommended to have the star schema. That will make sure that you will be able to do the DAX better way and you will have a better performance. Now let us talk about the last thing that is pending, and that is cardinality between the tables. So if you talk about this customer table and the sales table, from customer to sales there is a one to many relationship, because customer is one but it will have multiple transactions in the sales table. So that's why customer to sales is one to many relationship. That is nothing but a cardinality of the table. If we talk about sales to customer, then it is many to one relationship. All right, similarly for the product table as well, this is one to many and this is many to one. Okay, and similarly for this customer table, if we think about it, customer table to this location table, it will have one to one relationship, because this is customer and this is the location for that particular customer. So this is one to one from customer to location and one to one from location to customer as well. So this is nothing but the cardinality between the two tables. It is important to have one to many relationships between the two tables. It is important that it is important for you to make sure that your data model should not have many to many relationship, because that will create wrong results, performance problems. We will discuss that in the next session maybe, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. One to many or one to one is fine, many to many is not fine. In that case we need to make use of the breach table, or I think we will discuss that in detail in the next session. Anyway, this on the screen that you can see is nothing but the data warehousing. So if I tell you the end-to-end story, initially you will have the data from multiple tables. Your organization might be using SQL, SAP, Oracle, Excel, whatever can be the data source, but that data source will be basically extracted first by the data engineer. Once that data is extracted, then it will be transformed. After the transformation, it will be converted to the data model. I already told you how to create that data model in the form of star schema. That creation of star schema, and then we put that data into the data warehouse. Okay, and from that data warehouse, data analyst will fetch the data and make the reports. So this is the end-to-end story. This is what's shown here. We will have source system, then we will extract the data, clean the data, transform it, put it into the data warehouse. Once we created put it in the data warehouse, either we can have the model in here, or we can do that in Power BI as well. It's up to you. All right, once we have the data model created, then we can make the reports out of that data. All right, this is the end-to-end process. I hope this will give you complete understanding of data modeling fundamentals. Thank you so much for watching this video till the very end.